Hi there, Lexer Legends. Laura here from the training team. Today, we're going to walk through our CSV export integration, as it's a popular tool that we get asked about a lot. We'll go through what the CSV export integration is and how you can use it, and hopefully share a couple of tips and tricks along the way. But let's take a moment to do a quick terminology check here. CSV stands for Common Separated Value File, which allows data to be saved in a tabular format. CSV is a common data format and can be used for custom analysis or to import customer records into other platforms for activation. CSV files exported from Activate will create a column for each attribute you include in the file. So, why would you need to use the CSV export tool? Well, while Lexer has many integrations that you can push your customer segments to, if your chosen MarTech platform doesn't have an integration with us, then you can download your chosen segments as CSV files, direct to your browser. But let's jump into the Hub and see this in action. I'm on our Hub homepage, and the first thing I want to do is check that I have my CSV export integration set up. To do this, I navigate to Manage, where I'll find my integrations. If I scroll down, I can see that CSV export is enabled. And generally it will be as part of your Hub setup, but if it's not, just toggle the status button to enable this tool. Below this, you can see the Attributes to Export section. These are the default attributes that will be exported when you run your integration. You can see here that I have email and first name as my default attributes, but these can be anything you like. To set up your default attributes, all you have to do is click into the search bar and select the attributes that you would like to export. So for example, I could select last name, and I could add state as well to my defaults. And one quick tip here, you must have at least one default attribute selected, otherwise your export will fail when you try to run it. Once I'm happy with my default attributes, I simply click Save Activation Config and CSV export is ready to use. Now that I've checked if exports are enabled and I've configured everything correctly, I can navigate to Engage, where I'll find myself in our Activations tool. This is where you'll configure and download your CSV files. What I'll do first is click on the New Activation button, which brings up the integrations I can choose for an activation. I then select CSV Export. Again, to the right, a new section will appear asking me to choose which segment I would like to export, and I'm able to choose any of my saved segments. So for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to choose the new customer last 7 days segment, which I can see contains 122 profiles. These are the profiles that will be exported to my CSV file with the default attributes I configured earlier. The final stage is configuring a few settings. Firstly, you can change the activation name here and also select whether or not you want to be notified when this activation is run. Below this, you'll find your default attributes, the ones that we set up earlier. And if you'd like to add any more to this list, you can do so here, but just be aware that they won't save as default. You need to go back to the Manage tab to do that. Then scroll down a little further and ensure that the Append Activation Name to include profiles is selected. What this means is that the activation name will appear as an attribute on all the profiles included in this export. Finally, you can agree to the terms and conditions and then click Run Activation. You can check the status of your CSV export by clicking into Once Off Activations and selecting the CSV export you just created. If the file is ready for download, you can click on Download to access this file. But you'll also receive a notification in the Hub, the bell icon at the top here, and via email if you have selected this option. Either of these notifications will take you to Activate, where you can download the CSV file. And that's it. That's how you run a CSV export in the Hub. I hope you learnt something today and enjoyed watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.